This week on Next to Nothing, we talk about the new Apex Legends update. I review a piece of garbage I bought a few weeks ago, and we talk about the possibility of an Apple gaming console. All of that and more in this week's episode. Roll the intro. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I am your host, Daniecae. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Green Elite. How you doing, Green?
I am doing fantastic. I got new tech today that I can't wear, and I'm not happy about it. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, Danny?
I'm doing really well. I cannot complain. Cannot complain at all. With us this week, filling in for Rev, it's the powerful and still very beautiful Roguepinata. Rogue, how you doing?
Beautiful. Pretty good.
It is. That's it. Yeah, so, I mean, you've been on the show before.
Yes.
But for those who don't know who you are, why don't you tell the kind folks out there who you are, what you do, and where people can find you?
Hello, my name is Roguepinata. It's a play on words because pinatas do not like to be destroyed. So there you go. And also, I play roguelikes. That's what I do with my channel, like Hades. Right now, it is Hades. I play a lot of Hades. I'm trying to speedrun it. This is driving me nuts. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Roguepinata, not Rouge Pinata, please. Thank you very much. And you also find me on social media with the same exact name, Roguepinata.
I feel like we talked about this last time. Are you guys familiar with the YouTube channel The Modern Rogue?
Nope.
Their YouTube channel, they're just like another like Mythbusters type. Let's do stupid shit, like blow things up and whatever else. But all of their ad copy is like, use code ROGUE, RUGUE, spell it right. every time they're like, spell rogue right.
There's either one or two things that happens with my name. Either A, they mess it up like I did when I first rebranded myself into Rogue Pinata. I had to spend 60 days with the name Rouge Pinata until I was able to change it. Either that happens, or they think I'm a Rogue fanboy, and I am Rogue, like his, Rogue, like the team Rogue Pinata, and I'm like, no, I'm not a fan of Rogue.
Does anyone ever think you're a bat?
No.
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 That's one for the Sonic fans out there.
Okay. Is that a character for Sonic?
Yeah, or is it Rouge the Bat?
Rouge the Bat.
Or is it Rogue?
Wait
I think it's Rogue.
That sounds familiar. I think that sounds familiar now, actually, now you're saying that.
Anyways.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys for watching and listening. If this is your first time with us, we hope you guys enjoy and get a lot of value out of this show. If you guys missed any part of the show, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Each week, we do have a question of the week, and this week, our question is, what is the worst gaming or tech accessory you've ever bought? You've ever bought?
Purchased?
Ever purchased? You've ever spent money on? Yeah, what's the worst gaming or tech accessory that you've ever purchased? Go on ahead and let us know in the live chat right now. You can also let us know in the comments of the YouTube channel. I also just realized we have a giveaway to do.
Ooh, yeah, we do. Hell yeah. I'm excited for this.
I need to get the names down into a sheet so I can pull the draw. While we're doing that, how about we move on to our first topic of the week, which is the Apex Season 9 update.
Oh, now that we can finally talk about it, since we've actually been able to play it,
right?
Yeah. So Apex dropped Season 9 last Tuesday. I actually tried to play it on Tuesday before the show to give a review for that week, which is what's the date for that, Danny? Was it 5/4?
Yeah, 5/4, yep.
Yeah, so Apex introduced a new game mode called Arenas, which is like a arena shooter, much like Valorant. CS:GO, Rogue Company, just Apex's version of it, as well as a new character, a playable character or legend named Valkyrie. She is the daughter of a character from the Titanfall series named Viper. She has a jetpack passive that allows her to essentially fly for a short period of time. And then she also has a rockets that she can shoot out as her tactical ability. She also has the ultimate of being able to take off and like shoot up really high in the air for your and take her team with her to essentially redeploy. So she's very much a mobile character. Arenas is, as I said, just like an arena shooter. You purchase like your skills, like your tactical abilities. You always launch with one. You keep your passive. You don't have to pay for that. And then the weapons you select and you can upgrade them. You don't get to keep them per each round. You have to keep purchasing them over and over again. So you can mix and match, change it up in between each round. And I believe it's best of technically 5. I would say best 4 out of 5 technically. You can win 3 in a row. You have to be at least 2 up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you win 3 in a row, like right off the bat, you win. But let's say you're at 3 and they're at 3, then it'll go to a sudden death. But as far as I can tell, you have to be 2 up at least, or else they'll go into a tiebreaker round. So I've been really enjoying it. There's a few legends that I feel don't really work out for Arena. Like they're just not viable enough for it. But then there's also really strong players for Arena, like Lifeline. I've been using a lot just because if you die in the arena, you can't be respawned, but you can be knocked and then rezzed again. So that's why Lifeline comes in handy. And there's always 2 pillboxes that you can open up, and they're always the Lifeline pillboxes, so you can get more heals if you're running a Lifeline and able to open up that box, which is I think is invaluable, especially since once you're dead until the next round. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was really enjoyable for me. Not much has changed in the actual battle royale, other than they've introduced the bow tech, the bow check bow, the weapon, and it's kind of overpowered right now. But it is getting a nerf. They've already stated that they're somehow going to nerf this weapon. They did change up Olympus a little bit. They added a new point of interest. It's like another ship. And then I think that they're trying to push a story with these like infectious vines that are growing around this ship, which is just a little bit above solar array. But pretty much that's it for the battle royale. Like they didn't make much changes.
Yeah.
The bow is very, very overpowered right now, but it's still manageable. It's just
what specifically, in your opinion, makes it overpowered? Is it is it the amount of damage? Is it the speed? Is it the?
It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. The rate of fire is high, especially with the Deadeye tempo. It is perfectly accurate from hipfire. It does 112 to the head, 70 to the body. And it also has something called shatter caps, which essentially turns it into a short range shotgun. Which I don't think that part really is overpowered. I mean, I haven't really gotten a whole lot of damage from those, but like it's also silent because it's a bow. So like, that's another. I want to say plus, because if you're using the bow versus a gun and you're just plinking people and you knock them, not a lot of people are going to be able to hear it, so you're not as likely to get third partied. Which is like one of the big things at Apex. Like you got to be a third party. So, but that also can be confusing as to like where you're getting a shot from, because like like you can slightly hear the I don't know, the swizzle through the air. And until you actually take damage from it, then you don't know where it's coming from. So, but yeah, it hits hard. Hit fires is insane. And then the fire rate is crazy for a bow.
Yeah.
Like it shoots faster than a lot of the snipers. A lot of the guns actually it shoots a lot faster than even the shotguns. It shoots faster than the shotgun. So if you have the shatter caps on it, you essentially have a fast shooting shotgun too.
Yeah. Pinata, I want to get some of your opinions on this.
So far, I've been playing since I actually took a break from Apex for about a month or so. Actually came back this season, and I did notice the bow. Yes, it's OP, definitely. I think actually right now, as far as I know, I see there's an update or a patch being put out right now that also has the bow and the Spitfire nerfed. So I think that's being corrected right now as we speak. I was just looking it up.
So they did do a hot patch.
Yeah, hot patch. That's exactly. I was trying to think of the word. Mm-hmm. A real hot one. But yeah, it was OP. The firing rate is a bit fast. But it's I think it's a bow. We've seen people realistically do that speed, so it's possible to do it that fast. So I think it's more or less the damage consistency being like 70 70 70 70 body every single time, or if you get lucky where you're spamming the bow, you get a headshot that's 120. It's like it's
yeah, you hit him in the big toe at 70.
Exactly, yeah. You hit him you hit him in the hair in the big toe, it's like 60. So um
I don't think I've ever seen it hit less than 70.
No, I have never seen it hit less than 70 either. But yeah, so that's been OP. But obviously they're addressing it. They're addressing it pretty fast. So I'm kudos to them for addressing it really fast. Actually, I think the Havoc. I think there was a time where the Havoc was like the worst thing in the world, and it took them almost 3 weeks for them to nerf it. So the fact that they got this quick with the bow is actually pretty impressive. So
I mean, Apex and Respawn and it has been doing a lot better for like the actual community like that plays the game.
Yeah.
In terms of like fixing stuff than I think Activision and Warzone will ever be.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
That's not a very high standard to beat, though.
No, that's not.
I'm just saying, like in terms of battle royale, like I put Apex like on the same scale as Warzone. So like,
I say above it, but
well, I agree. I think Apex is one of the best battle royales ever made. I feel like Warzone could have the potential to be the best battle royale. Period. I mean, it has higher numbers for sure, but there's a lot of shit that is wrong with it that is preventing it from being the best battle royale ever made.
Yeah.
But especially the devs.
Yeah. I mean, other than the fixed up, I haven't got a chance to use the new character. I kind of let everyone else use it. But from my analysis of playing with the character, man, that character can come in clutch a lot, like a lot. There was times where it was just like especially if you're playing ranked, you want to take your battles smartly. You just want to get out of dodge, fly up, fly away. That's it. I mean, I think the charge up time, it's a bit long. You can literally just be sitting like a sitting duck if there's a team watching you. But I kind of see where they're coming from. If she could just go up and at them really fast, yeah, it would be pretty OP. But no, she's a like I've seen. I've had several times where we're in the storm, we're throwing our dome to protect us from the storm. Then we'll just heal up, then use her, jump in the air, and then get in the zone or get in the circle. And as far as balancing, besides the bow, I think there's a I think it's a pretty good variety. I've had wins with the 301 in flatline. I have wins with the alternator. I love the alternator. I love that they gave it a good buff. And of course the characters, the balancing with the characters, especially with Lifeline, they took away her shield, but they gave her a care package just situational and not just random. I actually like that too. So um, it's turning out to be one of their best seasons, and the way they're responding to changes to basically addressing issues and their speed. This might be their best season. Yeah, especially adding arenas, which is just kind of a just something if you're just sick and tired of BR and you just want to go into something different. Oh yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think Apex is in the Apex dropping arenas is the best thing to happen to Apex since Apex.
Mm-hmm.
Is like it is a lot of fun. And then I also forgot to mention they took away Skull Piercer,
Mm-hmm.
but they buffed the headshot damage of the wingman
Yeah.
and the longbow.
Yeah.
So
It's
and then the hammer points are gone too.
mm-hmm.
So but they
which is
buffed the
funny.
Mozambique.
Yeah, which is funny because I have found myself actually, and this Mozambique is not a joke anymore, guys.
Yeah, it's
not.
that's my starter. Mozambique and the alternator is my R45, RE45 are my starting guns in arena because they're cheap. The Mozambique is free. It has 6 shots and it actually hits like a fucking truck now.
It does, and it pretty good range too. Honestly.
Oh yeah,
I've found myself winning more battles with the Mozambique. I'm not afraid to pick it up anymore. So it's that right there where you're not afraid to pick up a weapon. That kind of like shows the balancing in Apex right now. Besides the bow, I'm gonna keep on pointing at the bow part. But yeah, it's I mean, other BRs you'll be, oh, there's a pistol on the ground. I don't want that thing. Now every weapon you can pick up and at least have a fighting chance, not get destroyed.
Yeah. So I wanted to quit because I haven't had a chance yet to just get my thoughts on Arena. I think Arena is the most brilliant move in terms of longevity they've made, right? Because I think BRs are kind of getting close to where we might start seeing them wane off. The popularity of them, right? Like Fortnite's popularity is starting to dip a lot. Warzone's popularity is probably going to start dipping here soon. And the idea of creating a new game mode that will give Apex a longer life is very, very attractive to me. And I love the new game mode. I really do. I like this simple 3v3 deathmatch, best of 5 wins. I like the map is smaller, which makes it run fantastically on my rig. I like the setup as the you buy as your the buy phase and all of that. I think it's a fantastic update. I really do. I think if you haven't gotten into Apex yet because you don't like battle royales, definitely pick it up and try this new game mode out for sure, 100%.
Also, they did a little sneaky graphical upgrade to Apex that I don't see a lot of people talking about, but it's a little sneaky polish they did.
I noticed that too. Like when I first actually started playing it, it was almost like a, it's like almost like the sun was in a different location. And like I know, I was playing with someone.
The shaders are better. The shaders,
yeah, it's definitely a shader, a definite shader increase, like a upgrade. But someone I was playing with was having like the hardest time with like the coloring because the sun was moved to a different location. They're like, I don't. Everything looks so different. But yeah, it was definitely, it looks pretty. Olympus looks pretty. So.
Oh yeah, especially that I don't remember the name of the maps of it, but the neon one with they have Mirage Voyages ship
Yeah.
there. That ship, that map is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Like I like that map a lot.
I like it's almost an open concept because like in Apex you can practically get anywhere.
Mhm.
Like you can climb on practically anything. So I like that it has like an open concept to the arena, but it also has like it you definitely feel the lanes
Mhm.
because like it still has the the standard
3 lanes.
circle zone where it pulls you into that a tighter area as the round progresses. So like you feel like there's a lane that you have to go to, and it feels crisp. It's definitely that solid classic 3 lane style, but with an open concept. It's something that like Modern Warfare tried to do with their multiplayer back in 2019, making it like an open concept, but it didn't work like Arena did. It feels fantastic. It looks fantastic. I have no complaints about Arena.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Anything else?
Nothing I can think
No,
of.
Cool.
that's it.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll our winner for the YouTube. I'm gonna announce the Gleam.io winner over Twitter. I'll just roll.
Hell yeah.
I'll roll that winner after the show, and we'll do that. But okay, let's go on ahead. I'm gonna click the spin, and
Come on, Mr. Greenlee. Woo!
I know I can hear sound effects, which means the stream can hear sound effects, but they can't see anything. Congratulations, Zanaris, Zanaris, for your prize. You will be getting Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Again, Zanaris, congratulations. I will reach out to you. I believe you're actually new to my community, so I'll reach out to you on Discord and let you know. Anyways.
Hell yeah, congratulations.
On from hey, look, he's right there in the chat.
Convenience.
On from that, I have a game that I wanted to review. Now we can get into real quick. Called How We Know We're Alive. So, one moment. Let me boop and a boop. Okay, so How We Know We're Alive is a short narrative-focused experience that I picked up over on itch.io over the weekend. I was just kind of looking for something to, I don't know, just kind of fill in an hour that I had. It is by Matvin Studios, I believe that's how you pronounce that, which includes August Hawkinson, Leo Kohler, Imogene Westnights, Ivan Starenius, and Andreas Knutson. I hope I pronounced all those correctly. I know they are a Swedish team, or I believe they're a European team. I shouldn't just say that they're strictly Swedish. The game is currently free. It lasts you about an hour or so, and if you pay $2 American, you can get a deluxe edition, which includes desktop wallpapers, a phone background, track mixes, and artwork. The game focuses on you, the player character named Sarah, returning to her small conservative town in Sweden. 1 year after the death of her childhood friend. Excuse me. Because the game is so short and narrative focused, I'm not going to go into any other details. But you meet other characters around town and try to piece together the circumstances of your friend's death. The game is absolutely drenched in a dreary, melancholic atmosphere. You arrive and it's nighttime, it's raining, there are very few people on the streets. All the homes and buildings glow with a warm amber, right? So just like you almost feel cold and like damp, even though it's just pixel art that you're looking at. Like you do feel the atmosphere really well. There's a subtle, twinkly, somber guitar that filters through the game. It really wouldn't sound out of place on an American football album. And that one right there is a reference for all my emo friends. I see you guys. You're out there. I see you. The artwork is done in what I would best describe as your typical indie pixel artwork. The color palette is much wider than like a standard 16-bit. The art is done very, very well. Everything is readable. Like, you understand exactly what you're looking at, what everything is supposed to be. It just suffers from a bit of blending into the rest of the indie pixel art style. Right? Like, if I lined this game up with a bunch of other indie games done in pixel art, it wouldn't look that much different. Right? The shading and stuff is done elegantly and beautifully, but it's just not that interesting in style. It's not very unique. And I think some of that could possibly be due to the fact that it is a modern setting, so it is just like modern architecture and devices and aesthetics. That could be part of it. I don't know. I just looked at it I just know that when I was looking through the pages to try to find a game to play, this one didn't immediately jump out at me because of its art style. It is mostly what I'm saying. The game is really well written. The dialogue and actions of the character make sense and is consistent with the short time that we get to spend with them. One thing I did notice, and again, I'm going to apologize. I'm not sure if the devs and the writers are fluent English speakers, but the localization and English dialogue is fantastically done. There weren't any grammatical errors or anything that felt mistranslated or anything close to it. Fantastic, impeccable, really well done. For me, overall, the experience is a really good one. There isn't really a fail state, so it's more like an interactive short film than a game, really. I think we've had that debate on the show before, but I do like to talk about these kind of experiences, even if there's not a fail state. It should run on most machines. This would also be something I could see on mobile or Switch, specifically Switch at some point in the future as well. This is the kind of the perfect thing if you're having a lazy or boring weekend afternoon, something to fill, about an hour's worth of time, for sure. That's the use case I would recommend for this game. Again, you can pick it up on itch.io for free. You can, if you like it, you could tip the devs. Myself, I don't know if I would necessarily would. It was good, but I don't know if I would necessarily want to tip for it.
Even 50 cents, sir?
I think the minimum you can do on itch.io is $1.
Yeah, I think that's
For only $2 a day, you can feed your starving indie developer.
Yeah.
And continue.
So, like I said, overall, it's great. It is a really good experience. It's just too short, and I don't know. It just does really only feel like that 1 hour. I think it's good. I think if you enjoy it, definitely go on ahead and tip them. If you want some of the artwork and stuff, definitely go on ahead and pay that $2 American and get the backgrounds and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good. I think it's definitely worth checking out. I just don't see myself tipping for it. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I mean, yeah.
So, do you guys have any other thoughts, questions, opinions that you wanted to get out on there?
No, it seems very straightforward.
I'm a sucker for 8-bit games.
Yeah. Is this one that you think you might go to?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
I'm downloading it right now as we speak. So, I have a sucker for the 8-bit stuff, honestly, especially if, one thing I noticed just going in their page right now is how they utilize reflections.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, the reflections are really well.
It's
really well done.
Pretty
yeah.
game. Thank you. And of course, the subject matter too is something I'm interested in too. So
yeah. So, do you guys want to go from something competently done to another piece of trash?
I like trash.
Absolutely.
I like trash.
So, this here in my hand is the Bauhn monitor phone mount. I have monitored 2 times in that. Anyways, several weeks ago, I bought this piece of plastic. And like I said, it's the Bauhn monitor side mount for mobile phones. And I bought it at Aldi. So this is one of the Aldi finds. For anyone who's not familiar, Aldi is a very cheap chain of grocery stores. Probably the bottom prices that you could get for most things. But they have this area called the Aldi finds where they just have weird things that you can pick up for super duper cheap. Like I've seen $5 fitness watches there. I've seen... actually, I got a bunch of cable management stuff that for like $1. Oh. Like I bought two packs of cable management things, which came with these white coils and USB tags and all sorts of stuff. They were like 99 cents each. So I went out on a limb. This was $10, and I bought it because another thing I did buy from Aldi Finds was a. This is going to sound weird. It was a car charger with a power bank, seatbelt cutter, flashlight, and a magnetic mount so that you can put it on the hood of your car.
The Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention it also had a window hammer.
Oh my god.
For like a safety window hammer for like, you know, you see a baby in a hot car kind of thing. Yeah, which actually works pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, I actually like it. I keep it in my car all the time. It works fantastically. So I thought, wow, I had some decent luck with some of my other purchases with Aldi Fine. Let me try these. And so this thing, the premise is really simple. I'm going to adjust here so I can kind of show. Right, so the premise is simple. There's a center piece that screws. And then there's two pieces of plastic with foam on them that come undone. And the idea is you'll take it once it's loose enough and slide it onto a monitor. And then put your phone in and then tighten it back down so that it all sits together. Right? Green, you look confused.
I'm picturing it, but I'm just...
I picture it. I get it.
Uh-huh.
That is silly.
It is a clamp system.
Give him the clamps.
Give him the clamps. So... you might be wondering why this sounds really simple. How can they fuck this up? And you might also ask, does it accomplish the task that it's supposed to do? And in theory, yes. But the clamp is too small to be applied to any monitor that isn't on an ultra-thin monitor. Like a la MacBook or a similarly profiled computer screen. I attempted this. Go ahead.
Why would you want to clamp anything onto your monitor?
Well, the idea is that you, like, say you're working like at a cafe or whatever, and you want to put your phone right next to your screen. Like if you're working on like some notes or whatever. Okay. Yeah.
It's
more of a to-go thing.
It's $5.
Yeah, but that's also bulky and would take up a lot of space in a bag.
What?
If you're look, I don't.
This one's pretty good. This is portable, right?
it comes apart, Danny.
Are you gonna put that together at a Starbucks?
Absolutely. If I ever shop at a fucking Starbucks.
So, anyways,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I attempted to use this at home, but both of my monitors here are too thick with 3 Cs, evidently. I took this to the office. Still did not work on my office monitors. I gave this to a coworker who could not get it to work on his monitors. We took it into our studios, which have brand new monitors, and it barely worked. It barely was able to get clamped on. by the point that I got it on, the phone was not properly secured. So we decided to try it on a ultra thin. Works fine. But so you remember how I described there's this center screw here, right? So you have to undo the center screw, fit it onto the monitor, put your phone in, and try to keep the phone and the mount tight enough to the screen in order to clamp the rest of it down with the screw. It basically requires 3 hands in order to properly mount this thing. It's garbage. This design, if you ever find a design like this, and I'll post pictures on Instagram. That's what I'll do. I'll post a picture of this thing on Instagram, so you guys know the proper design and look out for it. This thing is such garbage. I looked up Bauhn, Bauhn, and I could not find this thing again. It's I don't remember exactly what it's called, like what the SKU or anything, but I looked up Bauhn phone monitor mount and could not find it. What's that, Green? You look sour. You muted yourself.
I'm just saying that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a waste of $10 in plastic. Avoid
$10.
$10.
Yeah, I spent $5 for this thing at 5 and below, and I love it. It's weighted on the bottom. It telescopes up and down. It's easy to use. You don't need 3 hands. You
Yeah,
technically do it with 1.
Yeah, I cannot tell you enough to avoid this design. It is garbage. Something like this pops up on Amazon, you see it, avoid it. Do not go for a different one. Go for a different monitor mount of some sort.
Like, I have trust issues just touching my monitor with my finger.
Yeah.
Let alone trying to clamp something onto it.
Yeah, not impressive at all. At all. This is a purchase I regret making.
I would rather
I
put
feel it.
Velcro on the back of my phone and then a strip of Velcro onto my monitor and use that thing.
See, my thought was I wanted to get my phone off of my desk, because right now my phone, when I stream, I use Touch Portal. And so my thought was right now I just kind of like pop out the pop socket that I have on there, because I bought a pop socket for 2 reasons. One was to mount it or to like set it up on the desk, and the second was so I could put it in my car for cheap. It was like literally like $10 for the like rubber thing to mount the phone in my car.
Yeah, you do have to mount it in the car on your way to Starbucks for a pumpkin spice latte.
Are you gonna make fun of my UGG boots next?
Yes. You didn't even get the dark brown. You got the light brown.
Oh yeah,
with the pink fuzzies.
yeah. And I also wear gray sweatpants whenever I wear those.
Oh, sweatpants?
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, please. I know you're wearing leggings.
Ooh.
Anyways, yeah. So the idea was to get my phone off my desk, and it failed. It failed. Because I'm like, the phone vibrates like during the podcast or something like that, and it like reverberates through the mic, and let me see if I can't get it off the desk, and it failed. Horrible product. Yeah, cannot recommend. You guys avoid these at all cost. Yeah, that's that. There's a lot more, but we should probably take a break.
That sounds fantastic.
Guys, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Stay right there. And, yeah. Bye.
Are you a coffee lover? Do you need a little pep in your step in the morning? What about knowing where your coffee comes from? Is that important? Well, try Grampian Roast Coffee on Etsy. That's Grampian, Grampian, and see our selection of single origin and blended coffees. Use code REVSVEN, REVSVEN, at checkout to save 15% off of your purchase.
All right, and we are back. You guys ready to talk some more Epic v Apple?
Oh, aren't we
Yay.
ever?
So, like I mentioned last week, all of the Epic Apple lawsuit coverage has been just disparate, and some of it feels contrived and scatterbrained. It's insane. Like, there's all these little threads that keep getting pulled out.
Very shallow and pedantic.
I wouldn't say
Very shallow and pedantic.
I wouldn't say shallow and pedantic, but shallow. Well, yeah, maybe shallow. Anyways, So one of the major talking points that Apple has made about allowing apps to be loaded through another storefront or side-loaded onto Apple devices and not through the Apple App Store has been security and privacy concerns for their customers. This is an essential argument, being that Apple has the means. Essentially, the argument is that Apple has the means and the power to properly police the App Store of malicious software. But what if that wasn't necessarily true? One of the many gems being presented in this lawsuit is a series of documents that show that Apple discussed notifying 128 million iPhone users, the worst compromise on record, and decided not to. So in September 2015, researchers uncovered uncovered 4,000 apps that were malicious or contained malicious code, which made iOS devices into parts of a botnet and stole sensitive user information. The infiltration was a result of a developer writing their apps with an illegitimate copy of a piece of software, which inserted malicious code into the normal app functions. In an email, Matthew Fisher, VP of the App Store at the time, wrote an email to other execs asking if they should disclose the breach to their users, i.e. their customers. Or I should say, aka their customers. I don't think that was the proper use of IE. I think AKA was the best, was the better. Anyways, after more discussion between the execs, and they seemed to come up with some sort of logistical plan in place, they never followed through, leaving all of the affected customers seemingly unaware of the vulnerability to their devices. It was later found out by the researchers, and at another point in time, another document that I didn't want to necessarily do a full rundown on, was that some researchers actually wrote they basically Trojan horsed an app. They got it approved onto the App Store, and then put malicious code into it without Apple noticing. That was like Project Jekyll or something like that. So the argument that Apple has been making is that they know what's best for the customers, and that's why they have the garden so walled up, that they keep everything so protected and so policed that there's no way that you can have your data compromised if you're on an Apple device or using or buying things through the Apple App Store, at the very least. These sets of documents, to me, would be incredibly embarrassing if I were Apple, because this is a linchpin part of your case against Epic. This is a major part of your defense on why you do what you do. That being said, I don't think this achieves much more than just putting egg on Apple's face. Because the crux of the issue that the lawsuit is even going over is not security related, it's rights related. Right? Does Apple have the right to keep a walled garden? Does Apple have a right to take that 15 to 30% commission, or whatever, the 15% commission? Right? That's the issue at hand. And the security purpose was just more reasons why they said that they were justified in doing so. So I don't think this is going to have a huge effect on the outcome of the lawsuit. I think at most it really does damage Apple's reputation more, or at least embarrasses them more than anything else. And it does chip away at the facade that Apple has made, which is certainly one of Epic's goals right now, is to chip away at the facade of Apple as this perfect progenitor of tech and apps. But
the golden messiah of app stores.
Yeah. But let me get your guys' opinion on it. Rogue, what do you think?
Oh, excuse me, sorry. I have kind of like keeping an eye on the trial, kind of, but the thing is, I have a thing against Apple. I have a bias against Apple. The only reason why is because I've been working at the cell phone. I've been working at the cell phone industry for like about 7 years, and it seems like they say things to feel like, you know, high and mighty, or like, not high and mighty. What's the term? It's like they care about the customer, or they care about this or care about that. But in reality, they're just kind of just making money, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to make money. And if someone impedes or someone stands up against them, they're gonna do whatever it takes to take them down, or embarrass them, or whatever it will take for them to make the money. Basically, this is not exactly part of the it's not. It's kind of a part of the case, but in the way it isn't. Basically, what they're saying about the App Store, they're trying to keep you guys safe. It's kind of like the whole spiel about, oh, we took out the charges to keep better environments and stuff like that. I'm like, are you trying to,
Nope, we bought 2 boxes today.
No, it doesn't work out that way, because just call it what it is. It's you trying to save money. That's it. You're trying to keep the same costs.
They're trying to get money.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry. They're trying to get money.
Not only is it just they don't include the charger in the box, but they also changed the charger, so like it's now a USB Type C cord that comes with the phone, and you have to buy the block separately, because how many people actually have a USB Type C block? It's always been USB Type A to a USB C.
But that means you'll have to buy a new box, which is more cardboard.
I think it's like
so I'm gonna go on ahead. I'm gonna try to get us back on the right track here.
Well, I'm just saying it's an example of what them trying to feel like they're helping the customer, or they're doing this, when in reality they're just looking out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what I'm trying. What I was getting to.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So everything I hear from them is just kind of like, yeah. Get to the real point. So, but and like you said, everything it just backfires against them. That's another thing. You can show this and show that, but it's not going to make it. It doesn't make you look good. That's it. And they're gonna and Epic, it shows that with with their documents and stuff like that. So it's like you're spending you're not helping yourself, and Epic is just kind of like adding to the fire, that you're putting yourself in. So
Yeah. Green, what do you got?
I just want it to be over.
yeah, that's it.
I'm just tired of it. It's constant back and forth by two gigantic companies, that have enough money to throw at lawyers and stuff like that. And I just want it to be done. Like Apple, with these documents, like shows like they're not perfect, even though they want to be, or they want to seem to be. But I mean, Epic's not been fantastic either. Like they have been shady in the past. They've done shady shit just as much as Apple has. So it's honestly it's just like two people just sitting there fucking slapping each other's hands, like, yeah, just give me my money. No, you give me my money. It just back and forth. It just needs to be done.
What I appreciate about this is how much dirty laundry is getting aired out.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it seems to, we were talking about this before the show started, but it's like it feels like they're pulling out laundry that's not even theirs. Like they were talking about like Microsoft never really made profit on Xboxes, which is not really news.
Mm-hmm.
But for that they just bring it up, they're like, yeah, well, Xbox never makes a profit on their on their consoles. What about Apple? Do they make a profit on their phones? And whatever else. Yeah, it just keeps they keep bringing up like dirty laundry, and it's so, I don't know, it feels so convoluted sometimes. It really does.
I'm just waiting for like one of the lawyers to be like, Tim Cook had a steak and lobster dinner the other night. Oh, case is not dismissed.
I feel like
do you have a steak medium rare? No.
I was to say, I have a feeling Tim Cook does a steak well
That's
done.
what I was about to say.
Well done.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
He
Like, in court, just the lawyer, the Epic lawyer is just like, Tim Cook gets his steak medium well, and then the jury's just,
no, here's the thing is I feel like Tim Cook has so much money that he can just disrespect an animal and get like, he can import Japanese Wagyu and then do it well done. Like he has the money, he wants a style on it and wants to disrespect an animal and
with like the that gold foil, but like he cooks it so much that the gold foil is just like melted and gone.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of money he has. All right.
He gets caviar and he eats it with easy cheese.
Oh, God.
On a cracker.
All right. Let's
Don't you dare disrespect easy cheese.
I'm disrespecting the combination of caviar and easy cheese. I've never had caviar, but the way I've heard it described to me would not taste good with easy cheese.
It's like an earthy,
like briny.
Taste.
Yeah. So we were just talking about the rumors of what caviar tastes like. Let's talk about some rumors of an Apple game console, because apparently that's just what I'm doing tonight is talk about Apple.
Hashtag fuck Apple. Gave them too much money today.
Mark it on their bingo cards. Apple rumors are always fun because they can get the Apple cult into a tizzy. And this one seems to be gaining some traction. Right now, there's a potential that Apple could be making their own Nintendo Switch-styled console. According to rumors, the device will be built on a new SoC, not the A or M series Apple Silicon. and will have a high-performance GPU with support for ray tracing. There hasn't been anything confirmed. There are just lots of rumors floating around about that. There have also been rumors of a more souped-up version of the Apple TV, which would be good for gaming, which honestly, in my opinion, makes more sense than trying to make their own gaming console. And it is believed that this would all be in support of the Apple Arcade service, which, since its release, has really failed to make a splash in the market. And really thinking back, I don't think we've mentioned it since its release, which goes to show how unremarkable it is.
I think we talked about it, like we said, barely mentioned it, I think last week or the week before.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like it's not like Stadia where it's been a huge colossal flop. Right? In which I still stand by my point that the technology behind Stadia is misused. I still stand behind my point there that Stadia, Google should have made that like virtual workstations for like video rendering, CAD modeling, stuff like that. Apple Arcade has the issue where I think it's a good solid base for a service that can be used on your phone, then to your Mac, and then to your Apple TV, right, or to your iPod or your iPad or whatever, right? It has good application, it has like a good mindset behind it, but the problem was the marketing behind it wasn't there, and there wasn't anything in terms of the games, like the exclusive games on the service, that made it worth checking out. You could find better alternatives to those games. None of them were like, I need to play that right fucking now. That looks so cool. That is so unique. Like, there was nothing there for Apple Arcade that made it worth checking out. In addition to the fact that, like, a lot of people also don't want to, like, game on their phone with the Apple Arcade. The most I play on my phone really is a couple RPGs and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, really, it's the only game I play like literally every week on my phone. I
He
go to
takes extra bathroom breaks just to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links at work.
Don't you tell my boss that.
Oh,
So, excuse me, I have to
I've got
go
an itch.
I gotta go poop. Lunch is just running right through me.
I've got to go poop, and then under my breath on some fucking
Yu-Gi-Oh!
kids in
Duel
ranked. I got to go poop on some kids in ranked. Yeah, so Apple Arcade just seems to be still struggling in terms of how unremarkable it is. Again, I still think it has good value. I think the idea behind it, the service behind it, has good value, but content is king. And if you don't have good content on that service, it's not gonna. It's like their Apple TV, right? Like you every so often hear about a show on Apple TV, but I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. And none of it has certainly made me. And none of it has certainly made me want to buy it. What was the?
Yeah, Jason Momoa. It's called C, I think. Where like everyone in the world is blind for some reason, but his children or something like that. And then Jason Sudeikis has a show on there that I think we just talked about the other day.
Yeah, I know we talked about it, but I can't. Was it like Lasso or something?
Yeah, I think Ted Lasso or Lasso or it's definitely Lasso something.
Yeah, but again, that just goes to show the marketing behind both the services isn't particularly great, which is what they need. It's not like
they're spending so much money on lawyers right now. They can't market that.
Well, like think about like Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime does a fantastic job marketing its TV shows. Like there's
especially Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yeah.
That's their bread and butter. I love that show.
Yeah. Invincible, The Boys. Like Apple TV just doesn't. They don't have The Boys. They don't have The Boys.
Amazon knows how to target like per show. I think it's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's like Amazon, like The Boys, they did a lot of advertising on Twitch
Mm-hmm.
because it was like geared to that, that same age group / demographic that like
Also,
Apple just doesn't have that.
real quick, advertising, because they weren't really paying any real ad rates on that because Amazon owns Twitch.
Yeah, you know what I mean though.
Yeah, I got
like,
you. They're doing a lot of
you
promo.
know, yeah, a lot of promotion. Like, I wonder how that would work though. Like, does Amazon actually still like pay Twitch just to pay themselves, or does it like run down the chain? Or because like as far as I'm aware, Amazon kind of just like lets Twitch do its thing.
I don't know. I assume that if they have any partner agreements, that they still have to pay the CPM rate, but they probably don't have to pay anything else. But that's neither here nor there. So right now, just rumors. Worldwide Developer Conference comes on June 7th, I believe. So if we get any confirmation on these rumors, we'll see them then. Green. It's time. You haven't been in the corner in a long.
My corner. I thought you were gonna ask me my opinion about Apple's thing. So I was.
Yeah. I didn't get
I'm
your
like,
guys' thoughts. I didn't get your
Fuck
guys' thoughts. No, let me ask you guys. What are your thoughts?
Fuck Apple. I don't think it's gonna be necessary. Honestly, like I don't think it's gonna make a big splash in the market. And then like one thing you were talking about is like Apple's advertising, like their marketing strategy. I don't think I see that much anything Apple, period. I think like the biggest hype Apple has is the word of mouth. Like anyone who has an iPhone, like the majority, I want to say like 98% of Apple iPhone owners are doing all the advertising because they can't shut up about how they have an Apple iPhone and that it's the most superior phone.
So do I fall in that 2%?
No, you are in the 2%. Yes. Yeah. So like anyone that I know, like if they see, like I have had people that I know see that I have a non-iPhone phone and just be like, you should have an iPhone. It's the best phone. Like, are you getting paid right now? You fucking chill. Like what? Like, jeez. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna make that big of a splash, and especially in the handheld department. Nintendo's pretty much the king of that right now.
Yeah, and that's
I don't
a
think
weird.
they won't be.
That's a weird decision for them. If that's true that they wanted to try to do something along those lines, I think if they should do anything, they should just make a souped up version of the Apple TV.
Yeah, because that's a big Goliath to take on with the Switch.
Yeah. It also doesn't make sense because they would also potentially be cannibalizing their own phones and phone accessories.
Yeah.
Like if I were Apple in that case, I would just make a phone gaming accessory. So here's something I just thought of, right? So they have the Apple Arcade, and they have and it's supposed to go from your phone to your iMac to your iPad, right? Like all that stuff. But they don't have any Apple gaming accessories for they don't have the Apple iPhone controller. Right? Like they don't have like the thing that would connect via Bluetooth or whatever proprietary thing Apple sets up to connect like a game controller to your iPad or your iPhone.
Well, actually,
or do they? Am I stupid?
Well, no, they don't actually have it. It's not proprietary. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not Apple. They embrace Xbox's controllers. Like a lot of their a lot of their games, you'll notice that they'll like connect the controller, and they'll always show an Xbox controller, and they actually show you with the Xbox controller how to connect that Bluetooth to the iPad. So I guess they're kind of like letting that be with them, and not have their own controller, because well, I mean, controllers. I mean, can't get too innovative with them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a controller.
Yeah, I mean,
just ask Stadia and Steam.
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
I still have that controller stored somewhere. The Steam controller. Big giant nipples. But yeah.
Cool. Okay, so like I said, those are just rumors. Rogue, Pinata. I'll get your thoughts on it here, and then we can move on.
Pretty simple. I don't think they should do it. I think your idea with the converting the Apple TV, whatever it's called, into something that can handle games better. Yeah, I think that would be a better idea. It's kind of like stay in your lane type of thing, because if they try to go into that market, they have to face Nintendo, which you also have to compete price wise against Nintendo. And we're talking about Apple here.
You can get like two Nintendos for like the price of one cheap iPhone.
Exactly. So, there's that. And also what's going on right now with the trial. You're seeing all this terrible stuff happening, or, making them look bad. You think the developers are really, and the publishers are really trying to sign up for your service now?
I think they have an in-house.
No, well, they have some. They have some. Like, for example, one of my favorite games decided to get released on Apple Arcade, and then got released 2 years later on Steam, which was Enter the Gungeon. They released the sequel or the successor on Apple or the Apple gaming service first, and then they released it on Steam. But it didn't do too well in that service, so it's like, especially with all this stuff happening right now, I just don't see a lot of publishers and developers wanting to sign up for that, especially having to pay such a certain cut. Is there a percent? Well, like, there's a percentage they take, right? Like 30% or something like that.
On the App Store, I believe it's 15%.
Oh, 15%. Okay.
Yeah, I think the Apple Arcade probably has separate agreements.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, not knowing those numbers, and of course what's happening now, I just don't think they should really go into that market. PlayStation and PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox already have it locked down. And I just don't see anyone coming in and, especially Apple coming in and, doing that, especially without any, support behind it. I mean, they may have support behind it, but I just don't think they will have enough not to compete against, the big dogs, especially PC,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they should definitely like scooch back from like, especially like the higher end gaming until like they can produce like their Macs, like their MacBooks and their actual full size Macs that can actually compete with like gaming PC builds. Because
you're right, exactly.
They don't. I mean, a lot of it's like older like tech that they're putting out for twice the prices, like brand new top of the line Intel AMD stuff. So if they're gonna try to really push hard into the gaming space, they're gonna eventually need to get stuff that's more AAA title leaning, and so it can actually get people pulled in. But a lot of that, like you can't run Lara Croft Tomb Raider on a MacBook. There's no way in hell.
I think they need to focus on support with, like Steam support. They need to focus on that, or getting games on Mac first to get the gaming community, and then eventually get that product out as far as like a console or something like that, to show that they got the support behind them. Because it's a meme at this point where it's like, hey, can you run it in your Mac? Probably not. So
with NVIDIA GeForce Now you could.
Yes, you can.
So you mentioned NVIDIA there. Let's talk about their competitor.
Yeah.
Time to get in your corner, Green.
Time to get in my corner. All right, so
Green's Tech Corner.
AMD is going to be.
You had to wait for the effect to go off.
Did you play it?
I did.
It.
I saw it was glorious.
Oh, I
did.
Sad
you
now.
talked all over it, my guy.
No, play it again.
I'm not gonna play it again. Go.
Do it again. No. I was so sad now.
Okay, I gotta play it again. Oh, God.
Please make me happy.
Green's Tech Corner.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. So AMD is releasing they're calling it the Rembrandt
Yes.
APU. Yeah. Um, so an APU is essentially a CPU that has a beefed up integrated graphics onto it. They were really pushing in like 2010 to 13. Like they like was when they started like really like integrating like heftier GPUs. Um, but it kind of like killed out because the GPU market was ever evolving, and then the amounts of like actual dedicated graphics that you needed was steadily increasing each year. But now that GPUs are like kind of in a tough spot, a an option to look at would be an APU if you're on like a lower end uh style games like indie titles or low budget low res games, stuff like that. An APU is a great option, but um aside from that, AMD is releasing the Ryzen Remembrance, uh, and they're saying it's going to be coming with Zen 3 Plus and RDNA 2 graphics. So they are. Let me look at the specs here. They were saying 12 compute units, uh, which works out to 768 stream processors. And they're stating that it should be capable of 1080p gaming. I don't know how many frames you'd be getting out of that, and like how like solid it would be to play like the hyper intensive 1080p games. As I said, like any APU is more geared towards like you want something that still does great graphics, without like a hard load. So like Minecraft, uh, you could probably play CS:GO on this thing. Um, Hold on one moment, Danny.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm going to answer a question. Do you think Do you think part of this is for AMD to combat Nvidia in the mobile market with Nvidia taking over ARM? I'm going to answer this real quick. I don't think so. This is the kind of stuff that usually takes several years for them to plan out and announce, which would have been long before they would have known about Nvidia trying to buy ARM. The other reason I don't think so is because Nvidia isn't. They still have regulatory hurdles in order to buy ARM, and it sounds like there are executives at ARM who are resistant to a buyout from Nvidia still. So I don't think so. That's just from what I understand. What I understand of that particular situation. That's not something that we've really. I think we discussed it a little bit, but it's not something like huge that we have discussed.
Yeah.
But all right, back to you, Green.
So the biggest thing with APUs as well is they take a lot of they produce a lot of heat. So like the cooling has to be really strong. I don't know how big we'll be seeing these in like laptops. I know that they're more than likely geared towards laptops. Especially if you're not getting like a full-fledged gaming PC, like kind of like the middle of the road laptop. Um, so it with the heating issues, I wouldn't say they're issues, but heating applications are big with these. So it's not something like that's something I would keep in mind, especially if you're buying something like a laptop that has an APU in it. As you want to try to keep it cool. They'll say that they have a certain type of cooling in it that you know will be perfectly fine, but APU puts off a lot of heat. So because you got to think about it, it's not just a CPU, it's also a GPU. It's a combo. Do I think this will take over like the market? No. A lot of people, and like the majority of gamers are still going to want to go with the CPU and dedicated graphics card. But for someone who, let's say this is readily available, let's say GPUs aren't available in the next 4 years, and someone wants to get this, and it's just for, you know, mine like my application for my bedroom, Minecraft, Among Us, small games. Or if you're doing like a media center, it'd be a good application for that because you don't necessarily need your own dedicated graphics to put something on a TV, a computer that you can search YouTube videos or pop up Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, and play a movie. Because it technically is cheaper in the long run because you don't have to buy a new GPU to put in there to display that image. There are a lot of CPUs that have integrated graphics, but not to the extent of an APU. So that's something to keep in mind. You can still right now buy a CPU with integrated graphics. It's just not going to be,
Good.
game worthy graphics. So
Yeah. So Pinata, I don't really have any opinions on this, but I kind of wanted to get your opinion on it. Do you have any thoughts on it?
I know AMD used to do integrated graphics. I think it was like Vegas when they first started Ryzen. They kind of steered away from it for a while. I think they skipped the 2000, 3000 series.
you can get certain CPUs
Can you?
with integrated graphics.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's like the in the 2 series. I think one of the Ryzen 3s, and then I think one of the Ryzen 5s.
Hmm.
And I think the same with the 3000 series. There's one or two that has like an integrated graphic,
Yeah.
but they're not the RDNA 2.
No, exactly.
Not
Which
BP.
honestly, I think it's a good move on AMD. I think because especially with all the shortages we're having, and some people want to get their get builds going, or especially maybe just beef up laptops. I just think when it comes to integrated graphics, everyone just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever, and this looks like AMD is trying to kind of change that perspective. You're still not gonna get really good gaming off of it like crazy. You're not doing Tomb Raider, maybe Tomb Raider at like low settings or something like that. But I think it's something that's been kind of it's an afterthought. Same thing goes for Intel, like with their integrated graphics. It's kind of been like about it. So I'm kind of glad that AMD is kind of like filling out all the holes possible, so they can find someone out there to buy their products. So someone out there is just going to want a integrated graphics card or integrated graphics inside their GPU, so they don't have to try to find a GPU or something like that, and just to play their simple games or something like that, or run some certain programs that just needs that extra kick.
It's a lot more space effective too.
That too, yeah, of course.
Yeah, especially like with liquid cooling. If you're putting liquid cooling on it,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to necessarily get like a case that is super wide, like a mid tower case. You can get the ones that are thinner, that have like a 120 millimeter on the side that you can fit a radiator on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more space effective.
I can see. What was I trying to say? I kind of lost my train there. I'm sorry.
No,
I can see like the mini PCs like coming back.
Yeah,
like seeing more mini PCs pop up.
Like that Tomahawk design.
Yes,
the Tomahawk design is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what consoles should be doing, is making a modular system. They would make so much fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
You can pay me, Microsoft. You can pay me.
I'm not going to.
So I did want to address a question in the chat. How is it different from the Intel onboard graphics? The best way I can describe it, like this is like a wide comparison. It's like, imagine I'm trying to find a comparable graphics. Imagine a Ryzen CPU with a 1050 slapped on it, like a NVIDIA 1050 slapped on it.
Perfect example, yeah.
Versus like a Ryzen with a 710 slapped on it. It's beefier than the standard integrated graphics that Intel and AMD have done in the past.
And the great thing, of course, when integrated graphics, you can always just switch it off when the market becomes open to buy a graphics card. You still have your Ryzen whatever series. You just turn off the integrated graphics, and then get your graphics card. That's it. 2 birds with 1 stone type of thing. So it's how much? I don't know if you have this information or not.
I don't
Is there
think
like
it's made pricing yet. If that's what
Yeah.
you'd like to ask.
But usually I'm talking about comparison in general, like a chipset with and without. Is there like a big price difference, like $20 or something like that?
I don't remember how much they
Yeah.
were in 2011. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
comparable to today.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I could see them putting an extra 100 to 200 on it.
Wow,
It just
really?
depends. It just depends. I
Yeah.
mean, especially with the state where we're at right now,
Mm-hmm.
semiconductors are on a shortage.
Yeah.
So technically, they are slapping a GPU onto a CPU. Like they're adding the components into the housing of the CPU. So these might just be just as short as the GPU supply. I think less. The best thing about this is that I don't think a lot of crypto miners are going to buy these because there's not a lot of motherboards that support multi processors. That's why GPUs are so popular with crypto miners, is you can just slap them into a PCI slot and you can get the a rig that has multiple, and there are motherboards that support that in with server CPUs. So you won't see these being bought by the 10s and 20s to be slapped on a rig to do math all day for a crypto miner.
Yeah. All right. So that's Green's Tech Corner for the week. I think it's a perfect time to wrap up the show.
Is it now?
I think so.
Nice.
Green. Actually, I'm sorry. Rogue. Tell us what's coming up on the channel, where people can find you, and all that stuff. Whatever else you want to plug.
Right now, I am raising money for AFH, which is a nonprofit organization that I am a community manager for. You may have heard it from Rev. But right now, we're doing anime, which is for Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm raising money. I am having these things, which are the Boozle Spicy. And some of these little guys, well, I'm too lazy to find it. But anyway, it's a pinata. So those are my incentives when it comes to donating money towards anime this month. I could smash a pinata in front of stream, so anger management type of thing. It's pretty fun. I'm also I started my stint at Hades and speedrunning it. I've become obsessed with it, and I cannot stop. I worry about my health sometimes, but it's you can find me at twitch.tv/Roguepinata. I'm also in the Twitter, the same Roguepinata, and also Instagram, and of course TikTok. I post random stuff there. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it.
Green, what's coming up on your channel?
I'm definitely gonna be playing a lot more Apex. And Destiny has made its way back into my heart.
New update.
Yeah, the new season dropped today. Which is, it's not a DLC. It's just a season expansion. Same story concept as every other one. It's like there's a new event, a mini story, a few new weapons, yada yada yada. The biggest thing that's coming up is Vault of Glass, a raid from Destiny 1, is returning to Destiny 2. So I'm getting ready for that because I'm actually going to try to do a day 1 clear. So that way I can get the code to buy myself a jacket with my name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never done it. Like I've attempted a day 1 Garden of Salvation raid. It didn't go very great because I was still on PlayStation, and I believe both that raid and the raid before that, no console team actually made a day one clear, as far as I'm aware. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, Destiny players, because and take my apology if I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Please don't stone me. But you can catch all that on twitch.tv/Mr. Greenlate. And then you can also follow me on my TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. I'm trying to be more proactive on social media. I'm trying. There's so much. So much stuff. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. Danny, what do you got coming up?
Let's see. On my channel, so I've been, of course, as soon as I turn my mic on, my phone goes off. My channel, a new schedule. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday with the podcast on Tuesdays now. So this Friday, I'm going to be playing probably Apex Arena, or I'm going to go back into Enlisted. Saturday, I'm probably going to be playing one of those two, maybe play Apex with Green if he's down. I'm not quite sure yet. Sunday, I probably won't have a stream this Sunday because of some stuff. I am currently working on a new project, so hopefully you guys will be able to hear and see that soon. I hit a little bit of a snag during some production, but yeah, otherwise you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, Daniecae, Daniecee. I haven't really posted on TikTok in a while. I don't know why. It's just the way I am right now. And then speaking on Rev's behalf, you guys can find him on TikTok and on Twitter and Instagram and on Twitch, RevsFen TV. Check him out. I asked him if there's anything he wanted me to plug, and he said that things are kind of up in the air with him right now. He is under the weather, so guys, go give him some good vibes. Like, give him some virtual hugs.
Kisses.
Yeah.
Go kiss his neck virtually, of course.
Yeah.
Stay 6 feet away from me, please.
Right. So, yeah, that's what we got. That's going to wrap up the show this week. We appreciate all of you guys for joining us. It means a lot to us that you guys take the time every week to watch and listen. Don't forget the question of the week this week, which is, what is the worst gaming or tech accessory you've ever purchased? Go on ahead and let us know in the YouTube comments, or you can tweet at us, letting us know your answer to that question. If you guys miss any part of the show, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. If you want to help support the show, you guys can like, subscribe, and leave a comment. But the top tier, number one way to help support the show is by telling your friends, by sharing us with your friends and family, and telling them all about the show. That's the number one way to help out the show. Other than that, guys, stay safe. Enjoy the weather. If you have allergies, I'm sorry. I suffer with them too. Keep fighting the good fight.
So much pollen.
There's so much pollen. Keep fighting the good fight. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Goodbye.
I love you.